we might actually be able to play Modern on Arena. And honestly, there might be a lot of haters for it. And as many complainer videos as I've made, I think this would be one of the single best things to happen to the Modern format. Not that the Modern format is any type of super big downswing. Very popular format, a lot of people playing it. I'm still playing it a lot and enjoying it. But I think when it comes to this post, it really goes to show how close everything is. And what I wanted to go through in this video was go over some of the positives and negatives. Go over this post talking about how Arena is only missing 29 cards for competitive Modern. Folks, we might be able to play one of the most popular formats on, like, in Magic in general, on the Arena client, in a much more viewer-friendly client, in one that a lot of casual players are actually playing on, and just get more reach into the format. At the end of the day, the goal of this is, yes, a lot of people are playing paper Modern, a lot of people are playing digital Modern through MTGO, but having more people play the format can only be a positive thing. Having more people explore different options in Magic the Gathering can give people more ways to express their competitive and creative outlets. It is a net positive thing for the game to give people more ways to play. That has to be objective truth. What is the counter argument to that? Because when it comes down to how simple this is, it's absolutely insane. Defining competitive Modern as a deck with more than 1% of the meta share at present, Boros Energy is missing nothing because we got all of Modern Horizons in there. Domain Zoo, only Scion of Draco, Amulet of Titan, Dryad Arbor, Amulet of Vigor, and Summoner's Pact. You got the Spelunking. You have Amulet of Titan on there, Ruby Storm, Desperate Ritual, Morphles, and Pyretic Ritual. It's got everything else. Esper midrange is only missing Flicker Wisp. Ooh, one of the latest hotnesses of Modern right now. Affinity, Memnite, and Welding Jar. That's right. As of just this month, we got Mox Opal on Arena. Mox Opal is actually legal as one of the 2 Moxes on the client. Technically, you have the other Moxes, but they are locked behind Arena mechanics, and we're going to go over that in a second here. But you do have Mox Opal on here. And if anything, all we need is Memnite. The Welding Jar, barely, to be fair. You can get away without Welding Jar. Grixis Reanimator, you only require Archon of Cruelty. Belcher, you're missing Disrupting Shoal and Lotus Bloom, which are pretty relevant cards. Notably, Force Negation is coming to the client later this year. And this is where I wanted to really highlight this. Dimir Murktide, you are only missing Murktide Regent. You have the Psychic Frog, you have other options, but Preordain is already on Arena, just locked behind our alchemy mechanics and not yet craftable. So the whole idea is that you might have a spell book, a card on alchemy that is able to create and conjure up a list of cards that aren't in the in your deck, which means the card Preordain is already coded into Arena. It's just not craftable. So you just need to bring it into an Arena, you know, set, like an Arena anthology, which we just had, by the way, to introduce, again, Mox Opal onto the client for timeless and historic players. So you can already do that if you have it coded in. Again, so many of these cards, like Gruul Eldrazi, missing nothing, right? If we go to like Mill even, Keygen Craft, Visions of Beyond, Fractured Sanity, right? Like Mardu Energy, missing nothing. Is it Steel Cutter, missing nothing? There are so many decks on here that are so close to being played on the Arena client that I think this is probably one of the greatest things that we could put effort behind in a community. And if someone can get me in touch with someone on the Magic Arena team, we should push for this. This is a net positive for the client. This is an amazing post, and I think this needs to be a priority, because not only are we getting people to play different formats on the Arena client through Standard, trying out cool things like Timeless and Historic, you're playing Brawl, but Pioneer in a small way is already on the client. I've been enjoying Pioneer personally, so I have a very subjective view on this, where I have been able to access and want to play different cards in Pioneer because of the resources that I have access to on Arena. There's a lot of people that are very invested on the Arena client. I have a lot of wild colors on there, a lot of cards and just packs being open on the client. And so I was able to relatively easily easily port into a couple of Pioneer decks. Right now, I have Lotus Bloom, I have Pioneer Lumer combo, and I have, is it Phoenix, and probably the majority of mono red, honestly, minus a couple of cards. So I am able to play a lot of the Pioneer client and able to get to Mythic, climb up the Pioneer ladder, and able to at least experience Pioneer at a relatively high level with meta decks. Now imagine if you were able to do this with Modern. Again, Boros Energy, the best deck in Modern right now, has nothing missing in it. Esper mid-range, one of the latest hotnesses with the Quantum Riddler, is only missing Flicker Whiffs. Top like artifact strategies in Affinity is not even missing Mox Opals. We're missing commons on the client. Folks, this is absolutely an insane thing. I mean, take a look at this, right? From a client perspective, if you're playing Modern on MTGO, this is generally what it's going to look like, right? At 2x speed, this is me playing a little bit of mill, and you get everything, right? Like you get your graveyards, you get like the deck and everything. It's just not the most accessible UI. When it comes to the Modern games that you are playing these days on Steam, on your consoles, it does not look like this. This, at the end of the day, is not an accessible client. The way you trade cards, the way you get cards, the way you go into the client is not that accessible to the average casual. And that is what the majority of Magic players are these days. They are Commander players. They are casual. They are not on MTGO. And the goal is to get people generally more excited about playing 1v1 constructed. And if you can add even another 1v1 constructed 60 card Magic format onto MTG Arena, it can only serve to better the metrics and the viewership for that. Right now, we are seeing a decline in digital sales as per the last Hasbro earnings call. So you can imagine that Magic Arena has something to do with that. And so if you want to get more people playing Magic Arena, get more of those 1v1 60 card constructed players on there. Get them off of MTGO and get streamers on the Arena client, because now a lot of your popular streamers are going to be playing Arena and playing Modern on the client and exploring different strategies on the ladder from there. It's not just about hard committing to different leagues on MTGO. You have to remember there is a price to play on MTGO, but Arena is a relatively free client. You just need to have the deck. It then doesn't require you to pay any money to continue to play as many games as you want on the ladder. Whereas on MTGO, to outside of the free play lobbies where you're not going to get necessarily the most competitive experience out there, you are not able to access high level games without paying. But from a relatively, simple standpoint, you are able to do that at the Mythic ladder, Mythic and beyond, when it comes to playing at a competitive level. And then past that, you can start introducing Modern events, maybe small qualifiers and stuff like that on the Arena client with Modern decks. And again, you may not have the whole card pool, but you have a good majority of it. You're missing a couple sideboard pieces. And as we play the format to get the Arena client to build more of those cards into it, we just need people playing the format. Again, not only is it going to be more accessible to play the games once you get your decks going, you then are in the ecosystem to be able to play other formats really easily. Again, you may be able to do that through a trading account on MTGO, but that is not the most accessible visual representation and kind of process workflow of getting to that. But also, you still have to pay to play those formats. Whereas if I just built into a Pioneer deck, I don't have to pay to play. I just have to pay to make my deck. I then can go on the ladder and play as many times as I want, which I think is a much bigger positive when it comes to just constant play. You can have people just playing Modern on the toilet, playing Modern on their phone, like on their commute to work or something. Having more people play the game at a higher level, again, is just a more positive thing. And not even just at a higher level, just at a higher frequency is a net positive thing. I mean, take a look at this tweet from a while ago that I had saved from Lee here, talking about how he took his MTGO client and turned it into an Arena, which was absolutely hilarious. Like, check this out. So you take the thing over and check this out. Absolutely top tier stuff here. This is insane. Look at the way they take the individual cards. Yo, this is hilarious. Look at the way the cards are played. Obviously, the animations aren't there, but this is amazing. I absolutely love this. This is just top tier here, right? The children yearn for MTGA. And I mean, if I just go to another video here, ignore the Minecraft brain rot at the bottom, but this is me playing some Pioneer Loom right here. And take a look at the way the UI is. I'm playing a combo deck. We're milling pretty easily. We can cycle through our graveyard really well. Things are happening really quick. The stack goes through there. Like, really, when it comes to combo decks like this, if you are to practice them, the combo decks are relatively really easy to go about. The real complicated ones are like probably in eternal formats like Vintage and Legacy, but that's like a whole other ball game that we are not even nearly close to doing. But I think this is the future of MTGA that I think is a good push forward. And of course, when it comes to addressing combo, we should also address the downfall of things like Arena. So when it comes to playing with decks like this, first downfall is going to be, as I already alluded to, cards are missing. So when it comes to the Luminary combo, we don't have Crumbling Vestige on the client, but the way you get it on the client is as we get cards added, as we play the format more, Wizards is going to see that we need cards like this to play our decks completely, and they're going to introduce them in future anthologies. Secondly, the other downfall is going to be the timer system. When it comes to MTGO, if we kind of pop back into my video here, you're going to notice a chess clock on the bottom left. We each have 25 minutes of our own to play our own game. They could still have 25 minutes left in theirs, but I don't have access to their clock. I only have access to the 25 minutes I have. Whereas MTG Arena has a similar situation, but has like a roping mechanic, right? So if I can like just kind of fast forward into a situation where I might be like roping, and it kind of does happen relatively like often with something like a deck like this, you can start to see how I was like roping there and now I popped into an ad. Great. But the clock system and the way combos are handled and triggers are handled are going to be a little tough. The auto tapper is going to be a little frustrating at first, but you can work around that as well. You can press like control to gain full control so you can respond to things that you're doing. The stack system isn't the most intuitive thing in terms of how it works on MTG Arena, but again, we don't have the most complicated stack interactions in the modern format. It can happen in the control mirrors, it can happen in the blue decks, but the majority of the time, this is not a relevant concern in terms of like 5 to 6 spell stack systems. Heck, Flusterstorm isn't even that common of a sideboard card, if at all played in modern right now, based on the metagame. So all in all, I just feel like with the positives and negatives of bringing modern onto the Arena client, the positives vastly, in my opinion, outweigh the negatives. This is not to take away from people playing on MTGO. At the end of the day, if you wanted to play at a super high competitive level, you are still going to be playing on MTGO and playing on the challenges. If you wanted to play in paper, people are still playing that at a high level. But to bring a format that a lot of people are playing in high numbers onto the Arena client is just a net positive. It gives a whole new audience access to the modern format. It gives an existing audience access to different formats. It creates a lot of cross-pollination, and I think in general is a net positive. I think this is a video that I would hope everyone is able to share. This is a Reddit post that is absolutely, I think, like super vital to the success of Magic in the future, and I can't believe enough people aren't talking about this. So again, like, comment below, share this video, and really try and get the attention of the Magic Arena team. This is going to be something that I'm definitely going to be trying to push for the next little bit. I'm definitely really excited, as I've been doing more lately, playing more Pioneer and playing more 1v1 constructed Magic. I would really love it if my favorite format, I know it's not Pauper, if my favorite format of Modern was able to be brought onto the Arena client to a whole new group of people to enjoy how I've been enjoying Magic for so long. It would just be such a fantastic thing.